Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and welcome to a new StarCraft II Heart of the Swarm video. But first of all, I actually got a haircut. Second of all, today we are going to be practicing some more Zerg versus Protoss. I actually only said that because I know that's what the comments are going to be like, so yeah. I made a video earlier, I believe it's about a week ago, maybe a little bit less, but it's about Zerg vs Protoss macro. Now, I told you to be practicing a lot of Zerg vs Protoss up until the 44 supply mark, which you should be hitting at the 5 minute and 50 second mark. And luckily for me, I saw a lot of people actually commenting that it helped out a lot. So here we go, we are going to be talking about the second part of Zerg vs Protoss. In this specific game, I didn't play it live because I've tried doing it, and I messed up about a billion times, so I figured I should probably just pre-record the footage and then just talk over it. So here we go, let's hop straight into the game. So here we are in the actual game. I'm going to be once again opening up a custom game with nobody to play with, only just me, so I'm going to be playing with myself in a socially accepted manner. And today I'm going to be once again pretending that I'm playing versus a Protoss player that went for either a Forge Fast Expand or a Nexus First. Now, we have two goals in this kind of video. The first goal is that we want to be reaching at the very least like 65 supply at the 8 minute mark. I know I made a benchmark earlier for you to keep on to, to hold on to rather, which is the 44 supply at 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Today the second benchmark that we want to be hitting is at least 65, but even like you kind of want to be hitting 70 supply at the 8 minute mark. Now the second benchmark that we also are, or the third benchmark that we rather are also going to take a look at is maxing out in supply at 200 supply at least, or at most rather, 11.5 to 12 minute mark. Now in this specific game I actually managed to max out a little bit after the 11 minute mark, and yes, it is possible to max out even faster than that, but at the very minimum you should be hitting 11.5, 12 minute marks with this kind of a strategy. So once again I'm going to be opening up, as you could already see, with a 9 Overlord, followed up by a 15 spawning pool, and of course a 16 hatchery, just like we did in the previous part. After throwing down the natural, I'm going to be sending an Overlord to my third base and wait for my spawning pool to finish to create a queen and a set of Zerglings. Then I make a few more drones and I just wait for my Zerglings to finish. And right as my Zerglings finish, I'm going to be sending a drone right after them to create a hatchery at my third base. I'm instantly starting my second queen, injecting with my first one and walking it to the natural while starting up my third base. Now at this point I basically just drone up until 44 supply, which I should be hitting at the 5 minutes and 50 second mark. And I'm going to be injecting with queens, starting at third queen and walking my first queen to the third base. Okay, we are about to hit 44 supply, and as soon as we hit it, I want to be starting double gas geysers in my natural. As you can see right here, throwing down the gas geysers right away. And at this point, the game becomes a lot scrappier, you could say. Usually, right now, the Protoss will be poking in with a Zealot and a Stalker, and there are a lot of stuff that you can do at this very point in the game. But this is basically what you want to be doing in an ideal situation, and you should be able to do this if you practice hard enough in every single game. I know top level players will be able to do this all the time. So, I'm going to be saturating my gas geysers, and I'm going to be just keeping all my queen injects up the best I can. I also am going to be starting a Roach Warren just around the 6.5 minute mark, which basically usually holds any kind of 4-gate pressure that they may throw at you. And I'm just going to be droning up as hard as I possibly can. As soon as I have full saturation in my natural and in my third base, I'm going to be stopping droning. However, I need to be creating a lot more drones for that. As soon as I hit 100 gas, I'm going to be starting a lair up, and I'm also going to be starting a Zergling speed with my second 100 gas. As you can see, I'm now max saturation in my natural, even got 2 drones too many right there. So I'm going to be sending those off to my third base while keeping all my injects up and starting my Zergling speed. As you can see, I'm already almost max saturation on all my bases. However, I'm going to need a macro hatchery right at this point in time when I hit max saturation. I'm only really getting this macro hatchery just in case I need to create a lot of stuff. And of course, because I want to be maxing out as quickly as I can, I'm going to be needing that macro hatchery. As soon as I hit max saturation in my third base, while also having max saturation in all my other bases, I'm going to be starting a lot of gas geysers in my third base. Just 2 more right there. I'm also going to be starting a lot of overlords at this very point in the game. Now, as you might notice, we just passed the 8-minute mark, and as you could see right there, I hit about 75 supply, and I would advise you to hit at least 65 or 70 supply. If you aren't hitting that, just practice it over and over again, just like you did with the previous supply, and just make sure that you are hitting it at least like 65 supply at the 8-minute mark. As you can see right now, I'm totally maxed out in drone count. I have full saturation, I have 4 gases going, and I'm basically only going to be creating roaches, zerglings and overlord at this very point in the game. I'm also starting the roach speed upgrade, which is something that you obviously want to be having. As you can see, right now it's basically a production race. You want to be creating as much units as you possibly can. Now, as you can see, the droning up is pretty much the hardest part of the game, and at this point you are only going to be making units to max out as quickly as you possibly can. I'm going to be trying to make not too many overlords because, you know, you don't need overlords after hitting 200 supply. And I'm only going to be creating roaches, as many as I can, because roaches are obviously the most supply heavy unit in the game. And I'm using the zerglings just as backup in case the Protoss would have like a lot of stalkers or a lot of immortals. And of course the zerglings are going to be there to also soak up a bunch of damage. Now, I don't really need the 5th and 6th gas geysers, luckily for me. So I'm only going to be staying on 4 gas geysers because that is the only thing that I need. As you can see, the 10-minute mark, I'm hitting about 155, 160 supply, which is something that you should be hitting. And at this point, I'm starting to get close to the max out. Right now, I'm creating my last 3 overlords while making more and more roaches, and I'm about to hit the max supply in a really quick game. Now let's say you are about Platinum League or below. I'm pretty sure this strategy will win you 100% of the games. It doesn't matter what strategy the Protoss was going for, because you will basically just blind counter everything he's throwing at you. Let's say the Protoss player went for Stargate opener. Well, you will just outrun him, and at this point I am max supply at the 11-minute and 13, well, at least I paused it at the 14-second mark, but I'm maxed out at the 11 minutes and 13 second mark, which is pretty damn fast. Okay, so once again, for the benchmarks that you want to be hitting in Zerg vs Protoss, when your Protoss opponent goes for a early second nexus, and when you want to be maxing out with roaches and zerglings as fast as you possibly can. 44 supply, you want to be hitting that at the 5-minute and 50-second mark. You are going to take double gases at this point. The second benchmark that you want to be hitting is the 8-minute mark. You want to be hitting at least 65 supply, but I would advise you to try and reach for the 70 plus supply. And in this game, I believe I got 75 supply at the 8-minute mark. Now, the third benchmark that you want to be hitting in this game is obviously maxing out somewhere around the 11.5, 12-minute mark. But as you can see in this game, I'm maxing out even 15 seconds before that, which is obviously possible, and it's something that you want to be aiming for. I hope this little series of videos helps you out, and I would definitely advise you to open up custom games and basically practice this about 1 billion times until you get it right, and until you actually try it out versus real opponents, because you do not want to be thinking about this sort of stuff, because it just makes it so much harder for yourself. I want to thank you guys all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the follow, or please hit the thumbs up button, as well as the favorite button, and if you don't already follow me on YouTube, please subscribe if you want to see more. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an awesome day, don't forget to smile, and hopefully I will see you again, guys. Bye!